All right, welcome back to another Let's Talk. I am kind of jumped ahead of myself by being on that page. I couldn't help. I got kind of lost there, but we are talking about Bethesda. Now, I know that I have been doing kind of more specific video games in a way, although Minecraft kind of strayed a little bit away from there. But I think in theme with the way I started this series, talking about an entire company's line isn't too far fetched, considering I was looking at all of the different games of Legend of Zelda. Um, and when I talked about uh, when I talked about Minecraft, I talked about the other games, the Minecraft games that they were putting out. So I don't feel like I'm too far fetched, but this is Bethesda. So and the reason I wanted to bring up Bethesda is because there's still and always will be a little bit of a place for the Bethesda company. Uh, in my imagination, my hope for the next game. Now, what that means is, sometimes they've won some and sometimes they've lost some for me. But I know that some people won't necessarily agree with everything I have to say here. But let's look back at when. Now, this is when. Understand that this is when I was personally captured by Bethesda's games, and that would obviously be Fallout. Fallout 3 specifically. Let's go back to, there we go. And we could watch the trailer, I do believe, if it'll let me click on it. No, it's just going to do the commercials. Okay. Well, that's okay because I don't really have time to consider everything I'm going to be talking about, but Fallout 3, the intro, was amazing.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your
So,
heart.
the thing that captured me
In my
with this
heart,
game
I have but
was
one
pretty simple. It was this sequence. Um,
and that
and of
one
course, the opening of gameplay, of open world gameplay, I should say, when you exit the vault and
I
you look
lost
out
all
across the
ambition,
world
a world
and you
of
see, you
flame.
know,
I
this,
just want to
or at least
be the one you
a
love.
frame of
How
reference of
happy
this next scene
that
as
you
it
feel the
pulls back.
same. I'll have
You
to
see
say
this,
goodbye
and
to
it's still there. It's
romance.
like, oh, I'm gonna
I
be
don't
able to see this. And
know
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this opening sequence, I said, yeah, okay, I get it. This is what's happening in the world. Yeah, no big deal, right? Um, and wow, I hope it's not as loud for you guys as it is for me. Okay, because that got really loud there. But let's pop out of that. And so that opening sequence really sold me the game. And then when I walked out and I looked out on the world and I saw in the distance that scene of Washington D.C. in the distance, I thought, okay, that's okay. This is the backdrop, right? This is what's going on over there. No, this is where you're going, and I was enamored, to say the least. I was like, oh wow, and then to get to go to the Lincoln Monument and the Washington Monument, all these different things. You get to see these things kind of up close, and the fallout of the city. Um, that just made me say, okay, I will forever play games from this company. And then I bought Skyrim when it come out, or right after it come out, and didn't play it. And yeah, it got shelved pretty hard. Now I was playing. I got to look around. Hold on. Yeah, I was playing Xbox 360 at the time, and I know that Fallout New Vegas had I believe been released. Uh, I think before Skyrim, but Skyrim had come out when I first played Fallout 3. So this gives you a kind of an idea of what I was doing. Um, and I was like, well, I enjoyed Fallout 3 so much. Let's look at Fallout New Vegas, right? Um, and I I I I wasn't as impressed. I know that a lot of people like this game like immensely more than Fallout 3. Some people do. Some people are like me. I didn't like the change in the what was it called, the stat, the stats system, well, how you gain stats, and there were the I think it was the magazines or comic books or something like that became more of a temporary uh, upgrade thing, or something of that nature. I'm not really thinking well as far as what it was, because it's been a long time since I played any of the Fallout games, to be honest. Um, but I still like them, and I actually I actually booted it up today. As I'm recording this, I'm gonna schedule this out, but I booted up today just to see that opening sequence again, just to see that one portion. Now, I almost played it because that sequence made me want to play it. But Fallout New Vegas has a charm that I do enjoy, and I still want to play all the way through the game, but I just never have been able to get past where I get irritated at some of the game functions. And the older I get, the more I'm kind of getting over that almost um stubbornness is the easiest term to use. Um, Unfaltering idealism. I'm trying to get over that so I can get back into playing New Vegas, because it's the only one out of the Fallout series I never played all the way through. I got to about halfway, I think, in the storyline, and quit. But then there's Fallout 4, and that come out after Skyrim. But I want to stick with Fallout for a second. Um, and Fallout 4, the thing that I loved about Fallout 4 was the ability to kind of make your towns and make your villages, basically. I loved that. I thought that was the best thing in the game. I know a lot of people didn't care, and I know a lot of people hated certain aspects of it, but with this game, what I saw in this game was something even um after, and I'll get to this part. In fact, I need to open a tab. Next time I pause, I'm going to try to remember to open a tab and show you something that's not Bethesda, but you'll see what I'm talking about when I get there, I hope. But it gave you a sense of that there is a whole other world there, um, or another ability to display another world there. And that was what I liked about this one, because it really made it where, oh, you know what they can do. And I'll allude to it a little bit. You know what they can do. Yeah, you know, and that's where this game sent, I think, a lot of people's minds, because that's where mine went. Mine went immediately to, oh wow, they could go to other worlds. And then they did Fallout, 76. This is apparently the newest update. It is more of a MMO style, online gameplay style. And I played it the first week it come out. Uh, I was disappointed, to say the least. It had a rocky start. And uh, I rented it. I didn't buy it. And after I rented it and said, this is what this is, because this right here kind of stuff is what made me realize, oh, this is a cash grab. I get it. Here, buy more stuff. Yeah, thanks, no thanks. And that's pretty much why I never bought the game. There's times that I wish I could just go in and say, you know what, let me go ahead and give it a try. Let me give it a, a real honest go at this game. I They burnt me. They burnt me pretty hard on that one. But let's go back again into the past, where Skyrim. Now, I realize this is the fifth installment in the Elder Scrolls, and I have really picked up all, well, not all, Elder Scrolls 3 and Elder Scrolls 4. I have both of those, one on PC and one on Xbox, I believe, Xbox One, I believe, or at least in my Xbox profile. I could probably play it on PC through my Xbox emulator or whatever they call that thing. But I like to play keyboard and mouse now, with certain types of games, and this being one of them. I really love playing keyboard and mouse with Skyrim, even though I got so used to playing it with controller. And when I finally picked this game up, now I'm some of you guys are gonna laugh and probably criticize me if you watch this and hear me say this, but yes, I did not pick up Skyrim because it was first person. Yeah, I know there's a third person setting and what have you, but because it was first person, and I got into Dragon Age, the first one, and Dragon Age 2 was coming out, and that's about the time I picked up Skyrim, because I said, well, Dragon Age 2 hadn't come out yet. Let me just go ahead and pick up this game called Skyrim. Everybody loves it. Everybody says it's amazing. Let me try it. I tried it. I said, you know what? I'll just play through Dragon Age again, because I really liked Dragon Age, and I still do. But I will say that if I have to weigh the two now, years later, yeah, Skyrim totally beats it, because once I finally got into Skyrim and the game mechanics, the way the fighting mechanics, because they're two completely different games. They're set in a fantasy realm, and that is the only similarity. Um, you know, oh yeah, I completely understood it then, because and a part of me, I have to say that part of me realized, oh, this is the same company. Yeah, yeah. It took me a little bit to understand this. Oh, this is the same company that did Fallout. I need to look at this like a fantasy Fallout game. And once I did, I was beyond comparing it to, the Dragon Age games. And rightfully so. It's nothing like it. It has dragons. That's the only real difference, or the real similarities. And I've played through Skyrim, I'd say at least half a dozen times, and I played through Dragon Age once, or maybe one and a half, maybe twice if I push it. So yeah, that's how much more I've really started to enjoy Skyrim. And then they come out with this Elder Scrolls Online, and I have yet to try it because of Fallout 76. I just can't, I just can't be sure that I want to try it, even though everything about it makes me go, man, I really want to try this game. I really do. Um, but then it goes back to, but is it also a cash grab? Am I going to regret it once and it is. You know it is when they have stuff like this. Yeah, I ain't going to do that. But when they have, hey, buy your crowns in the crown store here, you can buy a saber cat, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. It's it's a it's a micro transaction game, and I just I can't say that I am against microtransactions. I'm really not. I am against games designed to be games that benefit from microtransactions, and that's the only real reason that exists. That irritates me, and that's what Fallout 76 was when it was introduced. That's exactly what it was to me. Now, can you get past it? Sure. Can you um, can you play the game and never be bothered by microtransactions? Probably. Um, but it just when I when I saw that, I was disappointment is uh, the least strong word I can use as to how I felt about it, and that's why I can't try Elder Scrolls Online because I'm afraid that I will be that kind of disappointed again. And then there's this game. I have no idea. It's a dungeon crawler. Um, I have not. This is honest to goodness. I know this was announced a little while back, but I've yet to see anything about it. Um, it's on Switch, so I don't really. Oh wait, no, that's Skyrim on Switch. Okay, I don't really know what this game is. I don't know if they've given any. It says play free now, and that's why I'm like, what? So I'm not sure. I will have to delve into it. In fact, let me just. Okay, I took a look at it, some gameplay of it. I'm not gonna show and snipe somebody else's gameplay um, over to this particular channel or video, but I do want to say that it is what it says. It's more along the lines of it looked like it felt a little more like a graphically enhanced version of Elder Scrolls 4 in the dungeon, um, or in the dungeons, I should say, where you're facing a bunch of and it looked. This is just a I don't know. I may be imagining this as what it because it says scroller. Um, I'm leaning towards it's more along the lines of a Elder Scrolls version again of Diablo, and where you go in, you gather some equipment, and then you face another dungeon, and you've got several dungeons that you go in through, and you gather equipment, and then you try to get better equipment to go through either deeper or more dungeons, and that's just what I'm getting out of what they're describing it as and everything. I don't know, but it's showing it on Switch and on mobile, so it might be their attempt to jump into the mobile VR style uh, play, um, and they might be using this game to kind of test VR for other games in the future. I know that they have um, Elder Scrolls 6 in the development stage, but uh, I don't know if they're into production at all because they keep everything pretty hard under wraps anyway. and I don't blame them. You know, they don't want to put people's hopes up. But let's face it, it's been 10 years since Skyrim. Um, where is it? It's one of these I saw. Here it is, right here. 10th anniversary celebration. You know, how can you celebrate? I mean, don't get me wrong. Skyrim is playable still today, but you shouldn't. You really kind of shouldn't be celebrating your 10th anniversary of a game that you've announced a sequel to, 9 years ago, and still haven't produced it. It's you know, it's just my feeling. It's just the way I feel about it. But yeah, so there's that. But I do have to say that I am looking forward to Starfield. Um, they had a bit of the gameplay reveal here. I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to show it. Y'all can click on this website yourself. Um, and it was almost like the company that did um, Fallout New Vegas, or the company that formed maybe after creating Fallout New Vegas, said, "Oh yeah, you're not doing yours first because we've had ours in development for years," and that would be the Outer Worlds. Now, the Outer Worlds, I played the Outer Worlds. I did not finish the game. I'm still. Uh, there's a few things about the Outer Worlds that just I get kind of, I don't know. Well, the main thing is I'm playing it on console. I have it on console, and this is about the time that I really wanted to get a PC. And now that I have a PC, I don't. I'm refusing to buy it again. That kind of thing. So there's a bit behind. That's kind of cool. There's a bit behind the reason why I don't want to buy another version of Outer Worlds, and that's because I paid full price for the original game on Xbox because I really was looking forward to it, and I played it for a bit and enjoyed it, but the the cheese, okay, the cheesy dialogue, the cheesy script, it's painful, and I'm hoping that they don't do the same thing with Starfield. It it is it is it's Rochefort smelly when it comes to cheese. It's I mean it is oh it Limburger, and I get it. That's what they were going for. They were going for the comedic undertone, but it is overwhelming. The comedic undertone is just seriously overwhelming. And there's some aspect going on in Outer Worlds. You guys, this is how far I've gone into Outer Worlds. I have gone to one other planet, I think, in Outer Worlds, and that was in my main attempt to play, and I'll have to start it over again to be honest. But here's the thing: there's a theme in there about this uh, tuna fish, like canned meat thing, and you guys can call me out on it, but I guarantee you, just with all the comedic undertones and all the stuff that's revolving around in that game of the Outer Worlds, I know that's going to be a cannibalism joke. I know it is. I can see it coming a mile away, and I have yet to play into it far enough to actually figure it out. It just already feels that way, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Y'all are, canning people meat. So, and that may not be the case. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But I just, yeah, if I predicted it right and you guys know the answer, you can comment. I don't care. If I'm wrong, comment and tell me I'm wrong. If I'm right, it's not gonna confirm anything. It's not gonna spoil anything for me because in my mind that's what's already happening. But Starfield, let's talk Starfield because I got away from Bethesda pretty hard because of Obsidian. But Bethesda's Starfield, it makes me want to play this game. I know everybody's looking way forward to this game. I heard Jason Plays talking about it again the other day because he's just like, "Oh, Starfield." Um, I'm not looking forward to it like that. I I saw and was burnt hard by Fallout 76 because I thought, "Yay, this is a massive multiplayer game and it's gonna be amazing." And then I tried it and it was um, so not amazing. I'll just put it that way. Um, and I'm sure it is good in its own right, but it did not feel that way. It didn't feel amazing to me. So, and part of that is me wanting to play these single player games again. I got into multiplayer games in a couple of different ways, but I mean, when I play No Man's Sky, I play it single player. I don't play multiplayer. I don't go to the anomaly and find people. I don't join people's games to play with them. Uh, you know, some of my friends and I have played games together, but I've come to the conclusion that I'm often consider myself a lone player. Um, and I kind of sometimes prefer it that way. And in games that require you to be more than that, I'm not keen on. I get kind of um, I push away from, and a lot of that was from that extended era that I played MMORPGs. I really got into that. I got into some games um, that were easy to get into in you know big groups and things like that, and I really got into that. And sometimes I just got sad because either somebody it's hard to put the team together or it you know and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go do it myself. And a lot of times they're part of the things I would do in those games that ended up being all you know alone. I would do the things alone because it was more enjoyable for me to do some of those things. And so that may be why I play the independently games, the independent player games more because I enjoy them. But this is Starfield. This is the one I'm looking forward to. I would say from Bethesda. I don't know the release date if they've announced it. I keep expecting them to announce it. I don't think I still think they have not yet. Uh, Bethesda's really hush hush about their release dates. They don't give you a lot of um, pre warning. They give you a lot of build up and not a lot of pre warning as to when they're actually going to release it. They don't like to give out release dates because they don't like to be held their feet to the fire for it. And I kind of go along with that. I enjoy that about that company. They should not say, "Hey, we're coming out with it next month." Oh wait, we're pushing it back 6 months. Oh wait, we're pushing it back another 6 months. That's irritating. So more power to them. They're if they're doing it to where they're trying to finish the game, which will be a first in a long time. I will say that Bethesda is not well known for finishing their product. But if they're going to do it, and they're pushing it back this long, I'm hoping they're doing it because they're finishing the game. Because this game has been in development in production for a long time. I don't know where they're at in production. They keep that hush hush too. But okay, well that's Bethesda for you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can. Let's take a look at their games real quick. Give you a rundown. I don't know what Doom Eternal is. I don't know what Deathloop is. Ghostwire, never heard of it. Mighty Doom, I guess that's another one. I don't know. Um, but they have other. Here's Redfield. I don't know what it is either. Uh, and it's already got a announce date. So that ought to tell you something about Starfield, I guess. Um, but if you want to take a look at some of these, I mean, obviously it looks something along the lines of vampires, but who knows? So we'll see. I might actually take a look at this open world co-op FPS. Oh, from another company. Of course, it's from another company, Arcane Austin. Um, that's why it's got a release date. Uh, so anyway, this is Fire Knight 13 signing off. Wishing you all Godspeed. We will see you next time on Let's Talk. Thank you for coming out.